Kicked in the ovaries is what good dialogue should feel like. When women readers are cussing you out because they had such feelings to what happens in your mangas, that's how you know you wrote good dialogue. But how do you write good dialogue? Well, as somebody who juggles multiple different types of characters, let's jump into it. At the heart of all dialogue, it starts with feeling organic to that character and situation. And what do I mean by that? Well, let's start with Night of Slaughter and the main character, Veronica. She is 7 years old during the start of this story. When we're first introduced to her, she's using dialogue like, "Foul Kranos, I need no arms to defeat the likes of you. Angels, answer thy summons and smite my foe." Now, later on during the conflict with Beverly, she says, "I won't sing to your level. I pray the guilt of your soul's corruption crushes you, and when you've lost everything, then will this sin be atoned for." Bro, what 7-year-old do you know talks like that? That is so uncharacteristic of a 7-year-old. Or is it? Let's walk back through this. When we first start this story off, we see this opening scene with Sir Turner. As we learn, this is a story that her parents have been reading to her since she was a kid. The dialogue that Sir Turner is using, "Lord Homer is the only thing holding back the cancer that has infected. Homer was gifted a seraph's feather in payment of a debt that cannot be paid in full." In these stories, enemies use language like "recite the stories, invoke your dying god, for nothing will save you." We know that these stories have been incredibly influential on her. Look at how she comes out of the story role-playing with her father. Look at the depiction when her father, the god of honor, admits the stories are not always as depicted from what she read. Look at the impact that this statement has on her. Those stories not only crafted how she spoke, but also what she believed of the world. And hell, even in this scene, Contra literally says, "Did you really just quote Sir Hall from his final battle against Lord Dryad?" And she says, "Yeah, I kinda did." It's important to know the situation that these characters are speaking from and how they grew up. What were their influences? Because the thing about it is Veronica is still a 7-year-old. There are a lot of words and things that she doesn't know or how to use. Like when her mother basically tells her that the wish that she made to become an apprentice will be granted, but it doesn't guarantee her survival. She could get it post-mortem, aka after she's dead. And to this, Veronica thinks, post-mortem, a postman will give it to me? Those are ways to kind of bring it back that, she's still a kid. She still doesn't necessarily know the meaning behind the words that she is truly using. That's one way to really just show how three-dimensional character can be, is pulling from those resources, but showing the gaps in their knowledge. But let's quickly jump to the Devil's Deal and talk about how to do morbid dialogue. Selma's husband is Yuso. He's a town guard and went to defend the town against some bandits, but he ended up getting his arm cut off, loses his job, his promotion, and severance, no medical, nothing. So some of the best dialogue is no dialogue. Cut off dialogue, because he doesn't know what to say to his wife. He has now, in his mind, ruined everything. So we get panels of silence, him trying, him wanting to say something. And then she simply says, "Take your time. It's just us." Then he starts saying, "I wish I would have died. It would have been better off." Selma jumps in and says, "I don't care that you lost your arm. Don't ever say that. We need you." Because you really have to think, if you lost your dream, if you lost your ability to provide, how would you feel? How can you look your spouse in the face after something like that? There's no real words to say. She tries to comfort him again, letting him know he's important, that he is valuable still. And then he constantly refers back to his valuelessness. That's when he drops a bomb about losing everything. She's shocked, but she regains herself. She thinks, "I have to be here for him." And then she tries to figure out more what's going on, but remembers he's going through a lot. So she just says, "If you're able." During this whole dialogue exchange, you got to think about what each party wants. Selma wants information. She wants to comfort her husband. But he wants to stay reserved. He doesn't necessarily know how to convey the emotions. He wants to, at some level, be able to provide her with some comfort. But he's too defeated, so he doesn't have the dialogue to prep her up. He is looking for any excuse for him to have the justification to validate his feelings of wanting to die. That's why we constantly go back and forth. "You're okay." "No, I'm not." Elma's winning this battle, Even though it's not physical, it's a mental conversation. And she's reminding him, you're amazing. Even after all of this, you're still thinking about us. I have faith things will work out. Do you need anything? Could I get some water? Of course, I'll take care of it. I love you. I love you too. Then when she's alone, this is how she truly feels. Every conversation is a battle in its own right. Every person has something they want to gain and some things that they are willing to give up, concede, points, pride. It doesn't matter. You have to figure out what is the point of this conversation. What is each person wanting to get from it? And that's how you build real organic dialogue when you think of it in terms of a battle. Everyone has something they want. If you want to see how I fully executed this, grab a copy of The Devil's Deal while I have some, and The Night of Slaughter, which shares the same world. This weekend, I'm going to be at Tucson Comic Con, so come on by, say hi, and let's talk some lore.